everyone! Today we're going to be testing out a new brand to me, and this is Gimme Glow Cosmetics. So I have 7 of their shadows here. One of my lovely friends and subscribers sent me these and I could not be happier. You know who you are. Thank you so much. I absolutely love you. I can't wait to play with these. I will say I have tried 2 of them, so technically it's not a first impression, but I didn't really say my thoughts on the shadows while I was using them. So the ones that I've used is the blue right here, and I've also used the yellow shimmer. So I used these in the, I'll link the video up here, but I basically did a 3-look video as a collab with my friend Melissa, and we did like makeup inspired by places that we have visited. So I was kind of just like talking about the travels and stuff while I was doing my makeup, so you guys don't really know how I feel about these shadows. And to be fair, I don't really know how I feel about these shadows. I remember liking them, but I didn't really like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really focus on the performance of the shadows while I was talking, so I didn't notice if anything was like not up to par, if you know what I mean. So today we're going to be testing these out. I'm going to start by priming my eyes with my MAC paint pot. And I'll put a picture up on the screen for you with the shadows and the names of the shadows so that you can see what they are called if you were wondering which shadows that I'll be using today. So I'm not sure what I want to do today because the problems that I'm facing is that I basically have a blue, a yellow, and then some pinks and purples, and I don't really want to be mixing the yellow matte into any of the pinks and purples because they're going to muddy up a little bit. And since I've already kind of used the blue in, you know, a big way, like I actually really went in with the blue when I did use it, I don't know if I want to use that today. So I might just go ahead and use like the pinks and purples and then use one of the shimmers maybe. I don't know if I'll be able to use the yellow matte today. I will say I'm using this shade right here as my face highlighter today, and I actually think that looks quite beautiful. I did have to be very light-handed with this, but it just turned out really nice. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to see how buildable these shadows are. So I'm first gonna go in with this one in my crease, and then I'm gonna use a bit of a darker purple to deepen it up with. I don't think it's going to look too different on the eyes because these shadows are pretty similar, so we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to pretty heavily just pack this into my crease with a big fluffy brush here and just blend it all the way through. This is a beautiful kind of pastel-y pink. I really like the tone of this. Okay, so far so good. I mean, I'm very impressed by this. The shadows do have a little bit of kick up, but nothing that really bothers me too much, but I also don't really get bothered by kick up, so it might be something to keep in mind if that is something that really gets to you. So they are a little bit powdery, but I don't really mind that. I could actually see this being such a beautiful blush shade. Same with the kind of pinky purple one, like that one would be really pretty too. This might be a little bit too light for me right now in the summer, but in the winter, ooh, I would love to use this as a blush. But yeah, I mean, that was super easy to work with, so I'm gonna go ahead and find a bit of a smaller blending brush now. And I'm going to dip into the purple. This is more of like a pastel-y purple. Wow, that is beautiful. Oh, I love that. Let's see if I'm able to build on this and run this through my crease as well. I am having a little bit of a hard time just getting the shadow to stick like right here on my eye. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think it's the shadow's fault because it's not doing it on this side, so I'm not going to judge it for that. It could easily just be me being a bit sloppy with my eyeshadow primer. So what should I do next? I'm kind of tempted to go in and deepen this up a little bit with some black just to kind of test out this black. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just going to very lightly dip into this black and just put a little bit of that in the outer corner here. And this is like the story of my life. I still don't know what I want to do in my lower lash line, so we're gonna have to figure that out together. But I do like just having a little bit of extra depth to this look. I'm not going to be pulling it through my crease, I don't think. I just want to keep it very focused on the outer corner. Honestly, sometimes I find it a bit harder to go in lightly with a black than to go in very heavily with a black. Because if I were to really just pack this onto my outer corners, I wouldn't have to worry about it being a little bit sheer and patchy. But since I'm going in so lightly, it's a little bit harder to blend out, which kind of crazy, but that's exactly how I feel with the blacks at least. I feel like the more I put on, the easier it is to actually get it to look nice and blended. But I mean, this is a really good black, and I think I'm fairly happy with how that is looking. So I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of that purple And just run that right across here and make sure that the blend is looking nice. I do think that these shadows would be so much more pigmented if I didn't actually build them up. Like if I went in and really packed these on, I think they would be super pigmented. So this is just me like actually wanting a bit of a softer look, so don't judge the shadows because they're not like super vibrant. And I think I like this. Now, what do I want to do for the rest of my lid here? I mean, I really only have yellows to work with, so I kind of screw myself there, I guess. So I guess what I'll do is I'm going to, do I need to cut my crease for this? I kind of feel like I should cut my crease for this. So I'm going to go ahead and do a half cut crease real quick, and then we're going to go in with the yellow shimmers. And I'm going to use my P.O base to do this with, and I'm just going to go ahead and go about halfway across. Just going to meet that up with the black that I have on the outer corner. I'm just going to tap over the edge here. So I've kind of changed my mind. I think I do want to put just a little bit of that blue in between where I'm going to put the shimmer. So I'm going to go in with this one and basically just put that like right next to where I put that black. Since I did cut my crease, I feel like it's just going to lay really nicely here. And I'm probably going to have to go back in with the black again after, but that's okay. I'm not going to put a whole lot of this. I'm going to go probably about halfway in on my lid. I'm just pulling this all the way out above that black, and now I'll go in with the black again and layer that over it again after. So I think I said I wanted this to be more of a soft look, and here we are. So I take that back. I'm going to go back in with the black now, and I am going to be a little bit more heavy-handed with this because, I don't know, I don't want the blue to be like the focus on the outer corner. I do want the black to really stand out, so I'm just going to be basically packing this on the outer corner, just blending it into the blue. Okay, I really like this, and I feel like the shadows are blending really nicely. So I guess what I'll do next is I'm going to, wait, what do I want to do? Like, now I could actually go in with that yellow matte on the lid. Could that be an idea? Maybe I'll try that, but I do feel like I need to blend this blue a little bit more in here and just have a bit of a better gradient if I'm going to go in with the yellow. Man, just turned into something that I was not expecting at all. I mean, if this yellow doesn't end up looking that great, I can always go in with one of the shimmers on top, so it's not really that big of a deal. So I think that's looking pretty even. Alright, going in with the yellow matte. So I'm just going to pack this right on top of the rest of the concealer, or base I should say. I don't know why I keep saying concealer when I use my P. Louise base. Probably because the consistency is very similar to a concealer. So the real question now is, how is this going to layer on top of that blue? I'm totally expecting there to be a bit of a green gradient in between, which is totally fine. And I am basically going to pull this over the blue on purpose, just to get that gradient here. I'm not loving how this yellow is laying down on top of my base. I feel like it's looking a little bit patchy. But it could also be that I had some creases in my base before I went in with this. But it is layering really nicely and blending into that blue so well. So I'm pretty sure like this is my fault. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this eye. And then we're going to go in with a little bit more of that blue again. I'm going to try to see if I can keep my lid all matte today. I don't know if I'm going to be completely happy. I tend to always have a bit of an issue trying to do an all matte lid because it's just hard to get mattes to blend that well together. Okay, let me go ahead and take just a tiny bit more of that blue now. I'm just gonna try to make sure that it's looking nice and not patchy. And please know if it's looking a little bit patchy, it's not the shadow's fault at all, it's totally my fault. Because the shadows are doing what they're supposed to do. I'm just not the best at doing these kind of looks. Okay, so I think I quite like this actually. Now, question is, what do I want to do on my lower lash line? I think I'm just going to go in with the purple and the pink again and just call it a day because I don't want to mess this up like I sometimes do by wanting to go in with too many shadows. But to be fair, I mean, I have tried all of these now on my eyes except for this one, which is on my face, and I'll probably use that in my inner corner too, so I call that a success. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to find a brush, and then I'm going to go in with that purple first this time and just put that closest to my lash line, and then I'll go in with a bit more of that pink to just blend this out with. And then switching over to a fluffier brush with the pink on it, and I'm just going to run that right below. Okay, so these mattes are definitely quite powdery. Let me just show you what my palette looks like right now. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there's definitely a lot of kick up in the pans. But like I said, it doesn't really bother me, but I thought I would just let you know in case that is something that bothers you. So what do I want to do for the rest of my eyes? I'm thinking I kind of want to do yellow in my waterline just to kind of tie together with the inner part of my lid. Could that be kind of cool? It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't want to mess this up, but I also want to kind of do something fun. So I think I'm going to take Punch by Colourpop, put that in my waterline. Oh, actually, maybe I should go in with that yellow shimmer too. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, which is the one I have on my face. So I guess I haven't used this, but oh well. We're going to save that for another time. So I'm going to go in with the lighter of the shimmers, and I'm going to put a little bit of this just in my inner corner. And I'm not going to go ahead and spray this because I don't want this to like take over the look. Wow, that is so intense. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I think this is looking good. So I'm going to finish up the rest of my eyes, put on a lipstick. Like I said, I'm going to put Punch in my waterline. I'm going to do some liner mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look. Honestly, I love this. This is one of my favorite looks that I've done in a long time. I know I've said that a lot lately, but I feel like I've just had some really good looks lately. You know, sometimes I go through phases where I'm like, I don't really love any of the looks I'm doing, but I've just been really loving what I've done lately. So for my lips today, I used Purple Panicato by MAC. This is one of their Oh Sweetie glosses. Pretty sure this is discontinued, but I just thought it would go really well with this look, and I think it does. So, I mean, as for my first impression on Gimme Glow, I'm so impressed. Not that I didn't think I would be, but I've just heard so many great things about the brand, and for me, they've been so hyped that I didn't want to get my hopes completely up because sometimes I get disappointed, but I will say I'm not disappointed at all with these shadows. I think all of these just perform so beautifully, honestly. I want to get more. Whenever they launch their build your own quad, I'm for sure going to do that because I want to get more of these shadows. I think they are so good. I can look past the big pan size. I'm not the biggest fan. I've said that before. I do wish that the pans were smaller just because I don't need that much eyeshadow and they just take up a lot of room, but I mean the quality is there and they're worth it. So if you've been wondering about Gimme Glow, I would say go ahead and make an order if you really want them because they are honestly really, really good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun with this. I really like how this look turned out. So if you want to see me do some other first impressions and test out some other indie brands, I will pop some up on the screen so you can go check those out. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.